Let's get a restraining order.
I'm so sorry.
I'm
so sorry. I'm gonna have to get sick again.
We were allowed to live
sorry,
there
I'm gonna have to
anyway.
get sick again. Yeah, I think I need to go again. Yep. I think I'm gonna have to get sick again. I can feel it. If there was a God that I could believe in, and if it could be, if there could be a God that I could believe in that could take the pain away from me right now. God, please. This is one of those moments, and people are like, I'm never drinking again. I'm really in that moment. I never want to have a drink again.
Hi, I'm Christine,
And I'm Kira,
and this is a CNC podcast.
where every episode we dive into the most salacious moments in pop culture history.
So let's get into the episode.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to the CNC podcast. A little bit from us to you. We were celebrating Kiki's birthday last night. Kiki
We
and
were,
our editor,
actually.
Aisling.
You can put in a photo of us here. There was a really cute one that V took of us in No Name.
There's
It's a bit of a blur. It was a heavy enough one. We started quite early and we went to karaoke.
which was so much fun.
Which was so much fun.
so much fun.
We had a great time.
And it was really, really good.
And a lot of drinks were had, I think. That's
And
just the main issue.
I just think I'm a little fragile myself.
I think Christine maybe is a little bit more.
I've gotten sick 4 times, and there's nothing more humbling than washing your own sick off your driveway, do you know?
It is. And that's a moment.
And that's a moment that
time.
we've all,
I think we can all, everyone in the
we can
room,
all relate to that.
I think we all sing.
We all think it's,
Yeah.
I haven't had a hangover like this in so long, Kira.
I know, God bless. Yeah,
Like,
I had a
do you know what I
hangover
mean?
like that recently enough where for whatever reason it hit later in the day and I was getting sick from about 3-4 p.m.
The whole,
on. And it was just like, oh, I've been poisoned.
yeah, me, who spiked my 15 drinks?
It was like my 15 vodkas. I had multiple shots, multiple pints, and multiple vodkas. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I'm picturing the shots of the tequila that you had as well.
They were disgusting.
They looked so gross because they came in like a full cup.
Full cup, and the lime was in it. And we were like, oh.
So, our queen, Bestie Aisling, while editing this, might have to edit a few stops because I can feel myself now that I will be getting sick.
5 minutes later.
I will be
I'm
getting
going to
sick
sit
at
here and
this.
be honest. And I think that's fair.
So, we're a little
That's fine.
hungover today, but
Yeah. We're going to make do.
we got up and we got to work it.
We do.
Every day.
Actually, every day. And I think this episode is very fitting
So, Kira,
for our hungover episode.
tell our fans today what we're listening to. What's our episode on?
Today our episode is going to be on Charlie Sheen, who spent many a morning like this, I'm sure.
Charlie Sheen, Apocalypse Me,
The Jaws of Life. Basically, Charlie Sheen. I think we all know who Charlie Sheen is.
Yeah.
But you know him more for kind of his antics, I would say.
Definitely been like
rather
he was
than-
like a sex addict, and then I just remember like he would always have a new girlfriend. That was always what the tabloids were doing, and then he also would just be on drugs all the time.
The whole time. And he
And
was
then
just like
it's
that.
one meme, the video of him in that interview, and it's like, if there's
Winning.
drugs, I'll find them.
The drugs on me in the house, I'll take them, I'll throw them out.
That one.
Drugs!
Are there any drugs in this house?
If there
Set that down for a
are,
second.
if there are, you better find them and give them to me immediately. No, they're not.
No drugs in the house right now.
Not that I know about. If I know about them, I'll find them and throw them away. It's not a big deal. Ooh, drugs in the house. Ah, we're all gonna die.
Total nepo baby.
The actually probably archetype of
What
the
a nepo
Nepo
baby
baby.
is, yeah.
To the extent of taking his dad's surname. Because Sheen isn't his real last name. He's like the Nepo baby. Anyway, we'll get into it. That's like our first.
Love. Okay.
So I have our table of contents here. I'm realizing that this isn't actually correct as of for what it is. I did this at the start and then creativity took over. But it's basically what we're going through is his life, his start. So it's going to be like, who's Charlie, his early career, his party era. Oh, it kind of is actually the same. So it's who is Charlie Sheen? We're going to learn. His early career. super interesting actually. He had a lot of like things going on.
Okay.
Then his party era, which kind of like coincided with his early career, but also like really took off. Like he really kind of knew how to fucking party. Then we get into 2.5 Men, which is totally spelled correctly. Then we get to after 2.5 Men. I think I have one in here about one of his marriages.
Okay.
Specifically, because I think that one's really interesting. Then we have Chuck Lorre and the downfall, #winning, which was the thing.
Okay.
Then we have the reclaiming the narrative, and then Finn. So let's get started. I have a little one thing to flag. Throughout his adult life, his relationships were like very tumultuous and like many, and he was like nearly exclusively dating porn stars. He was hopping from porn star to porn star to porn star to porn star. I could not keep track of all of them. So there's the only women that I kind of mention are his wives / engagements that like something happened.
Okay.
He has been engaged so many times. Many.
Okay, how many?
I don't know.
Oh, damn,
It's
okay.
engaged, broken up with, and they get engaged. It's a bit of a Tom Cruise that it's like, we've known each other for 3 months and she's the other half of me and we're in love and we're engaged. And then she's a fucking bitch and I have a knife to her neck. And she's a psycho and she's calling and I have to get a restraining order.
I'm just so sorry.
Manly men. So I'll keep you guys company in the meantime while Christine is getting sick in the ew. I want you to do a counter of how many times. Oh my god.
Apologies for the little intermission there. This is one of those moments and people are like, I'm never drinking again. I'm really in that moment. I never want to have a drink again.
I respect that, but we do have kneecap on Wednesday, babe. I was actually thinking that walking up here and I was like, I wish you never got those fucking tickets. I wish you'd never got those fucking tickets.
Oh my god, kneecap on Wednesday. No boo Friday.
I mean, I feel like you always
Thursday,
do.
no boo. Vegas Friday.
What is Friday? Friday's for 12 pubs, lads. I'm not being funny.
In this moment, guys, I don't think I can do 12 pubs.
Whatever do you mean? You're coming. I feel like you're being dramatic. I think you're fine.
I think my body's gonna go into shock. Genuinely.
Men.
Manly men. Ooh, 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 ooh. Men, manly men.
Well done. Anyway, so who's Charlie? Right. Charlie was born as Carlos Estevez in 1965. We can see that, yes, slay.
Is he Spanish?
He is, I think it's Mexican heritage. They're Estevez. Carlos, his dad's last name is Estevez. And his brother is Emilio Estevez, who is like an actor. He was in The Breakfast Club.
Who was he in The Breakfast Club?
He was the jock.
Oh, yeah. I did know
That's
that.
Charlie Sheen's brother, but they don't go by the same name. His name is Emilio. And he's decided to use his name, his real name.
His real name, not a stage name.
Yeah, his real name rather than a stage name. Whereas Charlie decided to
Use his dad's
use his
stage name.
dad's and change his name from Carlos to Charlie and go for Sheen. But anyway, so Charlie was the third and youngest son of Martin Sheen. He also had a younger sister. So there was 4 kids altogether. For the first while of their life, like, Martin Sheen was kind of not like a huge actor. He was like trying to make it when the kids were born. But I think like as years went on, he started getting really, really fucking famous when the kids were quite young.
Okay.
So like they weren't born into super wealth and super all this stuff, but they grew into it. The big call for Mr. Sheen was Apocalypse Now, which is like a super huge big movie. And
Is it terrible? I've never seen that movie.
It's about the Vietnam War. It's the kind of thing our dads would love.
Yeah.
They were filming in Vietnam, I think. If it wasn't Vietnam, it was Southeast Asia. It was around there. And Charlie and his brothers came out for a while to help with filming. And like, so they got to meet all of these huge actors and these huge directors and like
Nepotism.
Nepo to fuck. But so it was like fucking mental. They were out doing whatever. That's them on the side of Apocalypse Now. That's Charlie with his dad smoking like his 15 joints or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's not that. To me, it looks like he has a bunch of little rollies in his mouth.
Yeah, I don't think that's probably going to be Rollies though.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Camera woman, I want, when I've just opened my eyes, you can have a zoom in to see the fucking death of my eyes.
Grey pallor. So then, during the filming of this, Martin Sheen was dealing really badly with, he was an alcoholic.
Okay.
And he was dealing really, really badly with it. And in the opening scene, what's meant to happen is you're meant to be introduced to this captain, whoever he is. I think he's the main character. It's just awful to say think. I think it's like one of those movies that it's like people, this is like a huge movie. Basically at the start of it, he's meant to be kind of a little bit out of it. And he's meant to be, I think he's waking up and he was meant to like punch the air or like do something. But he was fucked when filming. Apparently a lot of them throughout this entire filming process of Apocalypse Now, they were all off their face. And he was fucked. And he punched the mirror by accident. And his hand completely split open. There's blood everywhere. Like you can see some of the blood there on the bed. It was actually his hand. Like it wasn't meant to happen. And he ends up putting it all over his face. Like he goes with it in the scene, but he has like a proper breakdown. And it's real. And it kind of just shows like that's where they were at.
Okay. He wasn't meant to do well.
He wasn't doing too hot. And like obviously Charlie's kind of seeing that. And yeah, he was dealing so badly with this addiction. Then he had a stroke and as a result of an overdose. But so basically, yeah, he was just like all over the fucking place. Francis Ford Coppola was like, we're filming this goddamn movie, pick yourself up. And then Charlie was on set for a lot of it, but also whenever they weren't on set, they weren't seeing their dad because he was hopping from film to film. Like he wasn't in the home.
Okay, so them being on set and stuff like that is when they got to see him as well. So
that's quality time with dad, is sitting and doing this and like trying to get his attention while all else is going on.
So grew up on film sets.
He grew up on film sets, in and out of film sets. He was like extras in the background of them. Super duper nepo. His dad dealt badly with addiction.
Oh my God. And he was in The Breakfast Club. Charlie Sheen was in The Breakfast Club at the end in the police station.
Charlie Sheen was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the police station.
What did I say?
The Breakfast Club.
That's the one I was thinking.
So Emilio Estevez wasn't in.
Oh wait, hold on. No,
Ferris
never
Bueller's
mind.
Day Off.
Sorry, yeah, never mind.
Emilio Estevez was in it's a very similar vibe.
I'm thinking two movies, and I was like, oh my God, they were in the same film. They weren't. That's two different films. Never mind.
This is the thing with all of these teenagers at the time. They were known as the Rat Pack. I think there was like 8 or 10 of them maybe that were like in everything, and it was your one who was in like 16 Candles or whatever, and The Breakfast Club, Molly Ringwald, and then it was like all of the Breakfast Club kids were used, Rob Lowe and like St. Elmo's Fire. All of them were like this group of kids that were all used. So it's like, and it's like, yeah, Matthew Broderick I think was within that realm. As Jennifer Grey, your one with the nose who got a nose job around her career.
Yeah.
You know her well. So anyway, when he was in school, he was actually really, really good at baseball. Like real good, like got a scholarship level good.
Okay.
And his dream was to play for the Cincinnati Reds, which we all know and love and support. Because I love baseball.
I love baseball.
Yeah. This is a big thing. He kind of like supports them, Cincinnati, like it's his whole thing. You know how they all have like their sports teams that they like love. That's his one, I guess. He did not get to go though because he got expelled from school because he was really bold and he was running credit card scams with some of his mates at 17, and he got arrested in the classroom. So people came in.
Scams.
What he would do is he'd go into like a Westbury or like a whatever hotel, a Hilton, and he'd be like, oh my God, I left my fucking term paper here. I think someone's thrown it out. Is there any way I could go through your bins? And they go, oh my God, yeah, of course, go on through. He'd go through, take a bunch of receipts, get all the credit card numbers on it, and then call places up being like, do you take payment over the phone with credit cards? I'm going to get my son to go in and pick this up. So he'd pay for it with those cards, go in, collect whatever it is, TVs, like fucking like electronics, whatever he was getting with his mates. And he lasted for like I think it was like 5 or like maybe a week or something that they were doing this, and then people started getting privy to the scam. So he called, it was a chain, he'd called 2 of the same chain.
Oh.
And apparently the boss had said to every single branch,
after the first time they were done,
keep an eye out
for
for this. So they got him. Basically he then pivoted into acting because he was like, oh, why the fuck would I, like, it's fine if I don't go to college and I play for the Cincinnati Reds. I'm literally Martin Sheen's son.
Yeah, I suppose that's an option. Like,
That's
even
he
as a thought to be
doesn't-
like, yeah, well, I can just be an actor.
No, literally. So he did. So he used his dad's stage name, Sheen, and then changed his name from Carlos to Charlie. And then he was making films with his brother, him and his brother, and like the family themselves are quite like tight knit throughout the entire thing.
Okay.
They always stood by each other. There was never like a weird thing of like you're fucking this and you're fucking.
Yeah,
they were making
right.
movies together. They owned production companies together. They were featuring in each other's shit. They were helping each other out. They were always talking well about each other. So they'd be making films when they were young enough. I think just themselves. So he's making things with his brother, but he always had this kind of cloud looming over him with Emilio specifically, that he wanted, I think, to be like better. I think he had a thing in his head about being like his brother being better because he was more successful in their youth.
Yeah.
And he was a part of the Rat Pack and Charlie wasn't. And he had this thing about like wanting to be better and wanting to be more successful, and like not like he was kind of following him but also wanted to be like better, which kind of followed him then like throughout his career. But his big break was in 1986 when he was in a film, Platoon, which kind of typecast him a little bit into the actiony violence war movies for a while. He was in a couple of them, but this was the first like big one. I think it was like Vietnam, one of those Vietnam American war like
And
propaganda
making them all
movies.
look like war heroes.
Yeah, and they're all amazing
Heroes.
heroes. And there was a weird one where Charlie and his brother were playing these awful, there were 2 films that he made about these disgusting like pimp porn men, where basically they're like the godfathers of porn, and they're making all these porn videos, and him and his brother played these 2 brothers in real life who were like the porn kings of LA or whatever.
Ew.
And he also featured in another one as well that has been wiped off the internet, which is very interesting to me. No one can find it anywhere. He was in another one where he was like being some woman's, he was a porn king, like making a woman create all this stuff, but it's no one can find it anywhere, which was there. But the 2, but anyway, that's besides the point. And then he got into his little party era. So when he started proper like coming up, he apparently had his like first beer at like 12. He was one of those, a bit of a Drew Barrymore about it. Like he was one of those like LA party kids, and he lost his virginity at 15 using his dad's credit card to pay for a prostitute. Candy. And Candy is a name that's it's used in a future project of his. I can't remember what it is, but he uses the name Candy for someone in something, and I was just like, that's so interesting. I was like,
He stole his dad's card to pay for a prostitute.
Mm-hmm. At 15. I think this might have been around the Apocalypse Now time. And Martin was then like super worried about him because he like just wanted to make sure that he understood what the situation was, that it's like you're paying this, like this isn't love and this isn't a real thing. But I have a feeling it kind of didn't really. I think he was just a bit off. I think he's bipolar. I think he is something along those lines. I also think, and there are absolutely no allegations from his end on this, I think there was obviously there's a lot of abuse that goes around in Hollywood. I touched on it slightly later. I have a feeling he was a victim.
For sure.
I don't know that, but
I think it's not crazy to allude to it.
I think it's like there's this whole
I'm
thing
so
with
sorry. I'm gonna have to get sick again.
typos in this. I'm not. I'm actually gonna need to pick up a bunch of stuff from Dunn's on the way home and realising. I'm not.
I hope that was picked up there, Ashley.
Don't.
So, Charlie's down his party era. Started at age 15, virginity lost.
Virginity lost to Candy, the prostitute. He had his first baby at 19.
Well,
with his high school sweetheart. She's the first of his 5 kids.
5.
Yeah, he has 5 kids.
I didn't know that.
He has that one, and then he has 2 with Denise Richards, and then he has twins who were born in like 2010 or something. They're like 15 babies. But they're like fucked apparently. But anyway, so in 1990 he was engaged to a woman called Kelly Reston, who was shot by his gun. So basically there was a thing that people were like, Charlie Sheen shot his fiance, and he didn't. His gun was in his pocket apparently, and she had like moved his trousers or something. It fell out and it shot, hit the toilet, and then the shrapnel got her. And that just like was a whole thing, and everyone was like, what the fuck? And it was like weird, but then it was like, I don't think.
That is gonna fuck with you so much. You accidentally killed your wife, like.
Oh, could you imagine? Like she
Like
didn't die.
Oh, she didn't die. Sorry, she didn't die. She just got shot.
No, she got hit by the shrapnel. No, she didn't die.
Okay.
Oh no, I think it'd be a lot. If she had died, I think he would have been liable for like whatever. She just got hit by the shrapnel that they thought she like, and then they thought she was shot. They thought he shot her, and then it wasn't. It was like a whole fucking
That's
mess.
such a like you walk into the emergency room, you're like, what happened? And it's like
I fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
He never. This is the kind of thing. There's a lot of that with him that it's like he never did that, and it's like, it's a lot of conveniently never having done whatever. But he was also dating random porn stars on and off in between all of this.
Of course.
And then in 1995, he married his first wife, Donna Peel. They got divorced in 1996 because he was named like a client by this escort company that apparently were like super illegal. And he was the only named client, and he was testifying in court about it. And so this woman, Donna Peel, then left him and married who? But John Travolta. And she's the
weirdo as well, isn't he?
He's a fucking freak. They're all fucking freaks.
He's Scientology, isn't
He
it?
is. He's Mr. Scientology.
Well, I know that he wouldn't let
His son
intervention with his son in the surgery.
It was, we had we'd said surgery. I don't actually think it was surgery. I think it was, he had a lot of like issues and diseases. I actually saw a photo of this son. He was like 16 or something, and they didn't believe in any form of medication. He was like unwell from when he was born. He was one of those kind, like he just was not well. And they wouldn't let him get any form of like proper treatment for it. And then he died as a result of it. And then she'll be like, but the church have helped us so much in getting over the death. And it's like, it's the church's fault that he died. Like he didn't need to. But he did. So that was that. And apparently they tried to get him, Mr. Sheen, into Scientology. And he was just like, nah, not really a bit of me. He actually, the way he goes on about stuff reminds me of your man, L. Ron Hubbard. He kind of talks in like medieval speak. It's like he's talking about like Magic the Gathering or something. He's like talking, he refers to himself a lot later on when he's going through his breakdown as a warlock. He's like, you've picked a fight with a warlock, and it's like, he's like, I'm a warlock, and you can't win against me because I am a warlock. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He kind of just goes on.
Okay, yeah.
So he's a little bit like that, but I was like, but he didn't rat on anyone when he was named as one of those like people, which we think might have helped him with like his career, in that like there could have been a lot of probably high brow people who could have been named in that
situation
of this escort, and he didn't name any of them. So then in 2002 he married Denise Richards, who is so fucking beautiful. Oh my gosh. And they had 2 baby girls. And then in 2005 she filed for divorce, accusing him of drug and alcohol abuse, threats of violence, of course, as well as accusations of him looking at gay porn featuring boys who looked underage and being attracted to underage girls. So this is a thing. So this is an interesting one. We'll kind of touch on that again later with the whole like boys and boys who look underage thing. So then we land at the golden goose that is 2.5 Mean, obviously. 2.5 Mean. And it really put him on the map. It was like the biggest show of all shows. So in this show, he was essentially playing himself, but instead of being an actor, he was a jingle writer. An interesting aspect that I think is the parallel with this, that in this, he's playing the really successful older brother, and his younger brother's coming to stay with him. Whereas in real life, especially before 2.5 Men came on, Emilio was like the more successful brother.
Oh, yeah,
and he was older, and then Charlie was that kind of like fuck up, like getting fucking done for being in an escort service and like fucking prostitutes and divorcing a million people and
slashed in the tabloids and all that shit.
Like consistently. Also, this entire time he's like on drugs and like drinking and all that shit. Like he's like partying. He's like 36-hour benders and stuff. Like he was doing this crazy shit. It was like the Steve-O type of thing, and like all of them have that crazy thing. So he at its peak was earning $1.78 million an episode, which I think is
per episode.
I think is bonkers.
What? That is so much fucking money.
Yeah.
And that's at the time as well. That's like 2003 he's getting that for this shit.
Well, this is at the peak of 2.5 Men, so it might have been like in 2009, 10.
Yeah. Jesus
when
Christ.
the entire economy of the world crashed during the recession, and he's getting fucking $1.78 million an episode. This really could have like been he was kind of at his peak, I think.
Yeah.
With 2.5 Men, he was so synonymous with it, and it was like so successful. People loved it. But then halfway through one of the seasons, I think I have it in this one, do I do halfway through one of the seasons, he was like demanding more pay because of how
Because
successful.
1.7 isn't
isn't
enough.
enough. But I guess because of however much the show was making, and it was really him.
Yeah.
I think as well. Like Charlie Sheen was so the name of that show. He was demanding that he get more pay. I think it was like up it by half. So he wanted like Dad, give me my money.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
I earned it. I'm the only name in the show. I'm the only person who does anything. And he was apparently like an absolute fucking nightmare to deal with on set, of course. But like, what can you do?
Diva.
When he was told no, he went on a tirade against the show creator, who is Chuck Lorre. But I have a video here.
Hiya, Chuck. Cheese ball. Where you hiding, silly clown? Behind your narcissism, your greed, your hatred of yourself or women? Which personality are you cowering beneath for transparent cover? I see you, you little worm. I see you behind your plastic smile, your bitchy pout, and your desperate need to be liked. Forget love. That ship sailed when you were born, to use one of your stupid and unfunny jokes. Good luck with those tin cans, shitbrain, and the mush mouth of some pathetic carcass you so arrogantly attempted to trade out for this warlock.
The warlock thing, yeah.
Think of me often, loser, during your most quiet moments. All alone in the world, staring into the mirror, your least favorite activity.
It's quite long. We can watch the rest of it later, maybe. He was like, this was kind of where it all really started to unravel. He was having essentially a mental breakdown, I think.
It's such like
His ramblings.
ramblings. You've put the camera up and you've started talking to the camera like that, like
Yeah.
you're losing the plot.
In fairness, he has an interesting way of speaking about
Yeah,
it, but
but
it's
like-
very like, oh, are we okay?
Yeah, evidently
What's going
not.
on? No, and he was talking about AA there. This is the thing. He'd been in and out of rehab a million times because he wanted custody to his daughters. It was taken off
So
of
maybe
him.
say Rianne.
This, that, and the other, going and like trying to be sober, going to rehab. But he didn't like AA because, and he says it there, he's like, the fucking stupid shit at AA. I'm fixed. I'm fixed. It's stupid.
So we're back.
Oh, we're back. So, I can't remember where we were.
So we just were discussing Charlie Sheen.
we're talking about
and
Chuck.
referring to him the fact that he's a warlock.
So then, this is where I'm bringing in Miss Brooke Mueller. This was Charlie's third wife. She is fucking batshit insane, this woman. She was like friends with the Hiltons and stuff, and she was like a realtor, like a developer that she'd like buy houses and then flip them.
Okay.
That kind of thing. She bought Mel B's house and then within half a year flipped it for like an extra $500,000. Like she was really good at it. And then they met and were like super duper like totally in love.
Obviously.
And then got married whenever the fuck they did within like 6 to 9 months, as he does with his things. And she gave birth to their twin boys, Bob and Max, on the 14th.
I think the name Bob is so like who sees a baby and is like Bob.
Yeah, I would assume like Robert, but
Oh, fairy.
it could. Listen, I think there's a lot going on there with these two specifically. On the 25th of December 2009, so how old would the boys have been? Like 7, 8 months? No, 8, 9. He was arrested in their home. So Christmas Day in 2009, he was arrested on suspicion of domestic abuse as Mueller called 911 claiming she had a knife held to her neck and that Charlie had told her that he was going to kill her. So this is 2009. This is a little bit before that, but it's just to kind of give context as to what was going on in the meantime. And basically this was true, but the reason Charlie was so crazy is because your one Brooke, they they were into weird, like, kinky, sexy shit, whatever. They would have threesomes.
Okay.
And they would have threesomes with men. And they would have threesomes with, like, transgender people. So Charlie would have sex a lot with, like, physically male people. And with, like, men. Throughout the relationship. And she had proof of this. And she was threatening to release it unless he, like, burned their prenup. Because she didn't want to... The prenup she got, like... If they got a divorce, I think it was like $275,000 or something, and then it was like $55,000 a week or a month for the boys, and that was there. But she wanted more because I think he'd gotten more since or whatever. She didn't like it, so she was threatening to release videos of him having sex with men unless he burnt the prenup. And then he got a knife and went, "Shut the fuck up, bitch! Like, don't do this. Like, what is wrong?" And it's Christmas Day. I was like, and then I was like, oh,
crazy.
this is insane. So in November 2010, he filed for divorce. They'd split up that night, but I think there's a certain amount of time you have to wait until you can actually file for divorce. You have to be separated a certain amount of time. So in November 2010, he filed for divorce, and on March 1st. Oh yeah, he filed for divorce, and then they ended up getting divorced whenever in like 2011. But she was cuckoo. She has super issues with addiction and drugs.
Herself, okay.
And apparently this was his thing. He had videos and like proof that she was taking a bunch of drugs while the kids were around, and he was going to release that. So then none of it ended up getting released, I don't think. But then court transcripts or whatever happened.
Okay,
the jigs and the rails.
We know about this stuff, yeah.
Yeah, we do know about it now. But she has consistently been, there's videos of her and she is like really not okay. Like she's really, which is so interesting because looking at them there.
They look so, I was just thinking that they look so well in that photo. I'm like, God,
and
she's
she's
great.
Beautiful. She's so gorgeous. But like she's actually been linked to the death of Matthew Perry because she was around him at the same time. Because they're obviously addicts in Hollywood and like super duper fucking addicts. Now the boys apparently are a fucking nightmare because they were being raised by her and then they were being raised by him, and then she filed a suit or whatever to remove the boys because she got a restraining order against him because he was like insane at the time. So she got them, but then when she got them, she was doing drugs in front of them and she was doing all types of shit. Like she was an awful. So apparently this was it. She ended up having to go to rehab, and of all people, Denise Richards, the mother of Sheen's other two daughters, took the boys in.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so then Charlie could like see all of his kids, all in, but apparently the boys are were at the time a nightmare. They'd be like fighting their siblings, like the daughters, and like physically, like whatever, like being very physical with them and with like Denise as well. But it was the dogs. They'd like start choking them and like squeezing their head to hear them whimper and be like, I want to hurt him, that kind of a thing. No. And they're only like 3 and 4. They're like kids, but they've been brought up in like such a fucked up space that like they couldn't do anything, and they'd realize whenever they saw their mum, apparently their mum, whatever. Now the boys are now 15. I think they live mainly with Charlie because she is in and out of fucking rehab, and he's quite understanding about it apparently because obviously he'd know with addiction.
Yeah, of course.
It's like a lot, but those lads, they're only 15 now.
That's wild.
It's like awful. But then yeah, when asked if he would fight for the children, he texted People magazine, "Born ready, winning." Now this, in fairness, that's where we're getting on to now, is winning. God bless him, the poor guy. He was going through a lot at the time. Now I don't want to say bless him too much because he's also like not a great person.
Yeah.
He also has like terrorized people, and like we were not 100% sure in terms of there's been allegations of things thrown on it, so I don't want to like whatever. But this kind of broke pop culture at the time when it was like hashtag winning. I love that. My favorite is I'm not bipolar, I'm by winning. I just love that. I win here and I win there.
Something he's crazy would say.
Oh, he's insane. Yeah, and he was being consistently referring to himself as a warlock and that he had Adonis DNA in tiger's blood. And he was seen on a rooftop just after being fired with a machete and a bottle that was labelled tiger's blood that he was drinking from. Now he was with a bunch of people as well. He wasn't just by himself going mental. Like he was always surrounded by people.
But always in these situations, it's like maybe not the right people, obviously.
Probably
you know?
not the right people. Probably the amount of porn stars that he's paid to be
Yeah.
around him. Because this is what he used to do as well. Apparently, he used to like pay porn stars and sex workers to attend certain parties and like, oh, it's just like, I'm just like, please, just like what are you doing? And he go on these crazy benders. One of the prostitutes, or I'll say sex worker. I'm actually not sure what she was, but she was basically like, I've never seen someone being that self-destructive in terms of drugs.
In
And like, it
terms
was
of
so
literally just, yeah.
like, literally, it was just, she was like, I thought it was a suicide binge. And he was like, he probably should not be alive. He really
From
probably.
how much shit he's done, yeah.
Just his entire past. It's like crazy. But he held the Guinness World Record for fastest to 1 million followers. And he was regularly doing interviews with Alex Jones. Now, I don't know if you guys will know who Alex Jones is off the top. Yeah, Ashling does.
No.
Off the top, he's the one who's like, turn freaking frogs gay.
Like, oh, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
The chemicals in the water turning the frogs gay.
Yeah.
He's that guy, and he's like, he got in a lot of trouble recently because he said that the Sandy Hook shooting, or parents or families were fake, and they weren't. And he went to court over it, and he lost, and he owes them a fuck ton of money. But so Charlie would be doing interviews with this guy the whole time, and his big thing was 9/11.
Oh,
His big thing was 9/11.
Theory.
He has those kinds of things. Apparently, that was an issue. Now, this isn't actually really necessarily his whole manic moment, because this has been a thing. He was like that with when Barack Obama got elected. He like begged him to open a case into 9/11, and like it was a Bush inside job or whatever it was, and it was like. And when Denise Richards got their first daughter vaccinated, he like flipped his lid, being like, "You're poisoning her."
Of
It's
course,
that
he's an
kind of a thing.
anti-vax that goes in hand, yeah.
And it's that kind of stuff like that. He's really into his conspiracy stuff. So that, I don't think is this, but like, he also made a movie about it.
Oh.
With like, I think also like Whoopi Goldberg is in it for some reason, but I could be wrong, about the Twin Towers falling and how it's like an inside job. And now I know that's actually probably become a lot more like popular of a conspiracy theory recently, I think. Like the whole Bush did 9/11, it's a bit of a meme as well.
Yeah, for sure. Reddit's really popping off with that one at the moment.
People do believe it. No, I don't know, but I'm also not going on Alex Jones's podcast.
No.
But anyway, so CBS fired him from Comedy Central, and they replaced him with Ashton Kutcher.
Yes.
They did.
Which I was only thinking there, I was like, how did they write him into that? It was such a shoddy, like, whatever.
He was like the pool boy or something.
No,
it was like something weird.
He was like,
He just like stumbled
bought
up.
the house. He was some rich guy.
Oh, was that
And
it?
he bought the house. And then I don't know how he still got, what's his face, the other brother to like live in the
And
house.
they were allowed to live
Sorry,
there
I'm have to get
anyway.
sick again.
I actually don't know how there's anything else in me.
We live here now.
I'm also going to be so interested to get a count.
Yeah, I think what's that, fourth? Could be fourth. Third or fourth.
Of me getting sick. I feel like, for me, I think I'm on 7 or 8. Just here.
No.
It feels that way. It feels.
Bleak.
If there was a God that I could believe in, and if it could be, if there could be a God that I could believe in, that could take the pain away from me right now.
God, please.
I'm having like hot flashes from like going from like being sweating in there trying to just choke up my entire self. My stomach is sore from like heaving. It comes in different colours as well.
Okay, I don't need to hear any more about that now. Okay, so
Perfect.
Same position.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So everyone in the world has their eye on him.
Everyone in the world had their eye on him to see what he'd be doing next. With this is it. With when Ashton Kutcher replaced him, that first episode, 1 hour after that, was the Comedy Central roast of Charlie Sheen. So it was the same night, and that still remains the highest viewed roast. You know, like the Comedy Central roast they do. That's still like the highest rated, highest viewed one. And it was like a very interesting timing because obviously 2.5 Men aired on Comedy Central. So it was very topical. But yeah, so basically he's spiraling publicly, and everyone in the world just has their eyes on him to see what he'll do next. Basically, because they're like, what the fuck else can this guy do? At one point he did a one-man show.
Me, I love it.
He did this one-man show and everyone hated it. Like, they were there for 5-10 minutes and people started flooding out, like, booing. And there was like cameras at the ready and whatever, like, in lifetime as he was still going, coming out being like, that was the worst shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like, this is like so bad. He was essentially just like, I actually have the video.
I think some of those things that you're putting out there are making
Me
people
with the
think
cigarette,
something's wrong with you.
That's up to, that has nothing to do with me, really. I mean, they're entitled to, I suppose, interpret stuff as they must. What are you a doctor of? What
Some
are you a
are saying
doctor
that you're
of?
bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean?
I guess that
I love that.
you're on
Wow.
two ends of the spectrum.
Wow. And then what? What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
I fucking by winning.
I love the now what. Now what?
In the corner, like, oh my God, it's all my mom's fault. Shut up. Shut up. Stop. Move forward.
Okay, so we can't have you falling asleep during the podcast recording.
Sorry.
So desperately we need to finish this.
I just want my eyes. I just need to rest my eyes. I just need to rest my eyes.
So, post meltdown, I guess. For like
That.
Post
Yeah.
that. And there was a lot of that going
Yeah.
on, that he was giving different interviews and he was kind of like, cray. Post meltdown. He tried to kind of pivot and he got a new show with FX called Anger Management.
Oh, I don't remember that.
So do I. You don't?
No, I don't remember.
I do. I remember being like, oh. And this was the ad for it where he was basically, and it was like, you thought Charlie Sheen was dead? And then he's like,
I have some kind of a memory of that.
yeah. And it was just like, he was just everything. I think it was like 2014 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of there. It only lasted about 2 seasons, but they were kind of like, this is his new big thing after it and all this stuff. He insisted on that show that Brian Peck. Now, do you remember who Brian Peck is? Brian Peck's the guy who assaulted Drake Bell, the predator.
Yep.
It's Brian Peck. And Brian Peck was working on the show with Charlie Sheen. I think it was the speech coach or like word coach, something like that, like delivery, whatever it is. Brian Peck was that. And when FX learned that he was like a convicted child rapist or like predator, because he he'd spent time in jail for it. He was convicted, he is. They were like, get him off the set. And Charlie went, oh, if he goes, this whole thing's going down. Like, he's staying here. And that's that on that.
Oh, so he fully was like, I'm going to defend this guy.
Mm-hmm. There is an allegation. Now, this is a weird kind of tricky one. Where basically there's this child called Corey Haim.
Okay.
Or he was a child at the time. He was 13 on the set of this film called Lucas, which Charlie Sheen was on as well with him. And Charlie was about 18, 19, and this little boy was about 13. And there's allegations that have been made. Now, Corey passed away.
Okay.
When he was, I don't know how old he was, but it was in 2010, just before this big meltdown. So I don't know if there's any form of timings with any of that. But he passed away. He never publicly made any allegations. But some of his friends around him have alleged that Charlie Sheen assaulted him on the set of this. And he was grooming him throughout the process. And it was this thing of like boys club. And this is what the boys do. And that was how Charlie saw it. Apparently it was just like, yeah, whatever. And there was these awful like rings of things going on with these like young boys and old men, and there was a lot going on. It was disgusting. But there's this kid called Corey something else. I can't think of his last name. Corey Feldman, who's trying to expose all of it, and he was friends with this Corey, and he's the one who's saying it. Now this Corey Haim's mother and sister both came out to say it wasn't Charlie Sheen.
Wasn't Charlie Sheen, but he was abused by somebody.
Yes.
But it wasn't Charlie Sheen. Okay.
Now, does hush money exist? Yes. Does saving face exist? Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Both his sister and his mum, who would have probably known him like super well, have alleged that it was not Charlie and that it was another man who was around at the same time. A lot of other people are saying it was Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah. Okay. We don't know. We can't say, but
we can't say. And that poor man is dead now. He really like it. Obviously affected him. There's videos of him and stuff, and he dealt with his own addiction issues and like that kind of stuff. But there's little bits and bobs of that. Then when like Charlie Sheen is like being with porn stars and like this is love, and then it's like addiction and it's like this is love,
it's all, like,
and
no.
it's that, and it's very like oh. I think he just had an incredibly twisted and warped way. Not that in any way, shape or form excuses anything if he did.
Nobody explains it.
It can be a reason. I wouldn't be shocked. I have no idea. We weren't born. I have no fucking clue. Yeah. So that's all on that. And then there was the HIV announcement. We're so close to the end and we're so going to get there. This is like one of the, I think, stunning. So then we're in 2015.
Yeah, I think I need to go again. Yep.
It's just insane.
Damn.
Didn't know it was your pussy palace. Pussy palace. Pussy palace. Pussy palace.
You can just hear her getting sick in the background.
I always thought it was a dojo. Dojo.
I don't know if I got it. Back with the handles turned. So, in 2015, he went on some news broadcast, whichever one it was, like Good Morning America, whatever kind of vibe, and he came out as HIV positive.
Does one come out? Do you have to come out?
He revealed his like diagnosis
Okay.
of being HIV positive because apparently it was something that was being held against him by people.
Oh, so he was kind of like, instead of somebody using this as blackmail, I'm going to out myself before. Yeah.
He said he'd paid more than like 10 million in hush money of people not to come this out, and it had only been 4 years, and he was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like it has to come out. So he'd been HIV positive. I think he was diagnosed in 2011 maybe. Now what's interesting is that he actually has always been incredibly supportive of like AIDS charities and like would donate, and was like from when he was very young. But he never infected any of his partners that we know of, and all of his kids are HIV negative, so they're all fine. I'd say it would have probably been the twins would have been the concern.
Yeah.
In case he had it but they're fine. The whole gay thing. I'm with the gay thing, and you'd know because you're gay.
Yep, gay.
He would be a celebrity judge for like drag shows to raise money for AIDS. So it'd be like the ultimate drag competition, and Charlie Sheen would be there in like the 90s and 2000s and stuff. Like he was just like super gay.
Oh, he's so totally gay.
I think he's a bi king. I do, at the very least. And I also think that's why he comes out with these serves. And he's like, point blank, period, the end, and what? I'm like, you're a little drag queen. Like, he is. Winning. And I'm winning. And now what? Blink to cure my brain. So he alleges, so when he announced it had this thing called the Charlie Sheen effect, where instantly Google searches for HIV and AIDS skyrocketed. And there was a spike in HIV testing, like over-the-counter testing increased by 95%. So loads of people were like encouraged to then test themselves and like find and get diagnosed. It was actually quite a positive thing, and it's like super brave to come out about, I think.
For sure.
A lot of people don't feel a lot of sympathy for him. They're like, the way he was living, like, yeah. So apparently he alleges that he told every single partner, but some say that he didn't. There's one woman in particular who's like, he never told me. There was this co-star on 2.5 Men who was a bit like, she wasn't told, she found out with everyone else, and it was his love interest or whatever, and she was like, I didn't like not being told, and it's like, I didn't love how I felt about that. Like, they'd share scenes in bed and they'd like kiss, and she's like, obviously I know you can't get it from kissing or whatever, but it would have been nice to know or something. And I was just a bit like, well, it's none of your fucking business, actually, really. Like, he's not gonna give it to you if you're holding fucking hands in bed. Like, don't. It's very that. I didn't like that. But there's another partner of his who was his, and you can guess what her profession was. Oh, porn star. Of course, she was a porn star. She found out that he was HIV positive when she found his medication. And she was like, what the fuck is this about?
Check the medicine cabinet.
Check the medicine cabinet. It was like they'd had sex multiple times at that point, and then she found out, and she was like, what the fuck is this? And he was basically explaining it, being like, listen, blah, 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 blah. They decided they were going to have sex like a normal couple and just like do whatever, be whatever, because he was on all of his stuff and he was fine. And then she got pregnant and he flipped out. And she wanted a baby, and he was like, nor, you're not having a baby because I don't want that baby to be HIV positive. And I don't want that to happen. And then he forced her to get an abortion, which was like a lot going on.
That's a lot, yeah.
Like a lot going on. He kind of, he didn't word it a very nice way either. It wasn't so much like, I'm so concerned.
Oh, I doubt it was a very well worded sit down conversation.
No,
like,
he was essentially like, he's basically just like, and it was a bit like, there's ways and means of like killing amazing. But anyway, so yeah, that's the kind of shitty part of it, is that apparently there are people who are alleging like, I had sex with him, he never told me, which is illegal. So this is kind of it then. Where we are now, he's a lot quieter.
Haven't seen him. I don't like.
He just kind of keeps to himself. He's out with his boys. He'll be randomly with his daughters. His daughter, I can't believe you haven't heard this, has an OnlyFans, and it was a whole thing on their show. So Miss Denise Richards has a reality TV show. She has the 2 daughters. They're all in it. The 2 daughters, one of them is the image of Charlie. And if I was Denise Richards' daughter and I looked like my dad, I would be Christine. But yeah, I'd be fucking fuming.
That is hysterical. He has been sober for a while now.
He has been sober for a while now. Apparently. He's really not very public. He's kind of just shown to himself. He has the boys. He has a decent relationship with his daughter. He has 3 of them. The oldest one, he's also a grandfather from the first baby that he had when he was 19. And he has a little granddaughter. We don't know a lot about any of the, like, they're not super duper public. He's also not super duper public. Actually trying to find a photo of him this year was tough. Because he's not really...
Because he really just isn't going out and doing anything.
No, and he's not really in movies. Like, he was... After his whole breakdown thing, he was spotted in different movies and, like, in and out of stuff. But he was kind of just, like... He's just kind of chilling now. I think he has his house. He moved back in with his parents at one point as well, like, in his, like, 40s or 50s. It's, like, I think...
Mellow.
Ground and mellow. Yeah. And now he has a place over thing. His parents are still alive, which I think is fucking crazy. Martin Sheen's, like, in his 80s. And yeah, he's kind of just like more focused on his family and his health and just vibing. So that's kind of what he's doing. And then that's the end.
Amazing.
So yeah, we've learned a lot about Mr. Charlie Sheen today.
I hope you've all really enjoyed today's episode.
Have you enjoyed it, Christine?
I'll be honest, Kira. No, I think I'm gonna have to get sick again. I can feel it. But if you enjoyed it, that's what matters. Because we do our art for the people.
We do.
Okay, so anyway, good night. God bless.
God bless.
I'll have found Jesus by the next episode. And I'm now starting my sobriety journey.
Journey,
because I don't think I can.
Journey.
Okay. Bye.